Grand rising, afternoon or evening, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back. You're here with some messages. Source, she wants me to share a little bit of information. I'm about 45 minutes or so out of a detox sacred bath. So that might be something you are being called to do. You've been getting the signs and the synchronicities about grounding and taking those sacred baths. Welcome in all the elementals, the nature spirits, all of our team members that are working with us in this present moment of unconditional love and light only, through and with divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, divine wisdom, divine knowledge, divine magic, and divine remembrance, because I am here to remind you of who you are and be the example, share the stories, and know that it is possible to go through the dark, right? To go through the dark and to come out on the other side. Okay? So welcome, welcome, welcome. We might pull some cards later, but right now I think I got this, if you know, you get a lot of information when you're in the bath or the shower. And I listen to a lot of music. High frequency music might be something you need to listen to. 432 or 2 hertz, Sangafio frequencies. Whether that's high vibe, like your dance type music, or more chill type music. But these very highly cosmic conscious creators that are creating music through sound and frequency, but there's also words there. If you resonate with being very clairaudient in the sense that you might not necessarily physically hear your spirit, but you get messages in videos, in conversations, you hear conversations when you're guided to, you hear codes, you hear messages in the music, and that's what usually happens with me when I'm taking a bath and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to flow with it. And just the music was reminding me, as Source, she was reminding me to kind of talk about, again, this is probably in many other videos, but she wants me for you today that's receiving this, because she said that those that are ready to receive this are needing this right now. You might be struggling with some stuff and stuff that I've struggled with. That's, again, we're here to be sacred mirrors, and kind of go with there and flow with it. So again, you receive this in divine timing. You're struggling, you might be struggling a little bit, maybe with old identities, old versions of yourself. This is referring to, like, what's strongly coming along with this message is like purpose and jobs, matrix type jobs, lack, funds, money. It's around money, the lack mentality. Maybe you're struggling with, how am I going to be provided for if I decide to leave this job because this job no longer resonates with me, the people don't resonate with me. You may, quote unquote, wrap your negativity around getting up and doing and going to this job where you feel drained and exhausted. And there's reasons for that. All right, you're not meant to be here. She's telling me to tell you, you are not meant here to give your energy and frequency away to these matrix jobs. That's the way I'm just going to describe it, is these matrix jobs. You know what I'm talking about. These 9-to-5 jobs, these cubicle jobs, these jobs that are paying the bills, but there's no creation, there's no desire, there's no passion. You are literally a battery source for these companies or for these businesses. And by now, you feel this more and more, and you've become really, really increasingly more and more uncomfortable getting up, hitting the alarm, turning off the alarm, getting up and going through this grind over and over and over, Groundhog's Day type of energy, 422 on the timer. And that's because your soul is calling to something deeper. All right, you're getting the signs, the synchronicities, you're getting the downloads, you're getting the whispers, you're getting the inner voices telling you, like, and then your ego's like, but what are you going to do? You know, you're not going to be able to pay your bills or be able to do this or that. All right, that's, again, falling back into that lack mentality and that programming and conditioning that you aren't provided. There's so much abundance for everyone here on planet Earth. They have so deeply embedded this program and conditioning over generations, it's sickening. There's so much wealth and abundance for everybody that you, it's sickening. It's sickening. And our birthrights are going to be restored. That was been stolen from us, whether that's your energy, your wealth, your abundance, because you're meant to be wealthy. You're meant here to create and to play and to live a life. Like your job is like a vacation every day, creating on a beach type energy. I know that's for me, and I can feel it. I know it. I've gotten glimpses of it. I know it already exists in the quantum because my future self has sent that information back as I get full body goosebumps and chills. I am a little sweaty still from my bath. I did take a detox bath. I think I said that, and I'm about 40 minutes out, but I'm still kind of hot and sweaty, and now I'm going to channel. So you may have been getting those glimpses, like you know that you've been feeling this your entire life. Like I felt my entire life like I'm supposed to be rich and wealthy. Like the next lottery ticket I scratch off is going to be the big one. That type of energy. I felt that my entire life. My physical world has never represented that. Yes, source has always provided for me. Always. Through all of the trials and tribulations, source, she has always provided for me. Yes, I am very happy with what I have created, my sacred space, you know. But to get to what she wants me to share with you, because somebody on the other side of the sacred portal is struggling. Because 644, because you're getting these pulls and nudges, you're getting increasingly more uncomfortable. You're just like, fuck, I just want to quit. She says then, fuck, just quit. Put your resignation in, and not do it according to matrix. Like if you don't fucking want to go to job tomorrow, don't fucking go to your job tomorrow. That's that type of energy she's bringing through. All right. Now, if you feel like you're providing a service, not being siphoned, like you feel like, yeah, I know there's something more, but I'm still going to this job, but I still feel fulfilled in a way. I don't feel like I'm being siphoned or drained off it. I don't feel like I'm being used as a battery. I don't feel like I'm being a source of energy for these companies. Then great. She says still do that. And then the more you can set your affairs up, you may need to downsize. You may need to back off on vacations a little bit. Again, do this through inner knowing. All right? Take time, contemplate, introspect. But she says you've already been doing that, and you're already getting the information that you need. You're just still struggling with a little bit of this lack mentality, programming, and conditioning, and that's why I'm here to share my experience. Now, I got started in the health and wellness business. I've never really blown up. Like that's yet to happen. I'm gonna blow up. I'm going to, yeah, not in a bad way, like blow up. I've never held a position where I've made a lot of money or anything like that. I've been happy and satisfied, especially working in the health and wellness industry, because it was very satisfactory, but I was still overgiving, undercharging, all of these type of things that were still attached to healing that I hadn't done. Okay. But I still learned a lot. I gained a lot of wisdom and knowledge. I know I was helping a lot of people, even under the top level of stuff, like underneath deep soul-based stuff. I know now that I was doing source's work, whether I realized it or not, in the health and wellness industry. All right. Meeting the right people, saying the right things, you know, sharing my frequency and energy with those that were meant to receive it, those type of things. But about 2 or 3 years ago, so I spiritually awoke this round. Like I said, my anniversary is around that. There was a transitional phase, but like when the switch flipped and the rubber band broke, that was about mid to late April. We're coming up on that date shortly in 7 days. It is April 10th, 2026. Again, all videos are in no time and no space. They are in the quantum, but I like to give the linear calendar date and time, just so you know. 944. So up until April of last year, again, been doing all of the healing work. I've had all of this space. And leading up to it, so about 2 years back, I would say 2024, maybe the beginning, again, I have collapsed those timelines, and I'm no longer in those identities. Those identities don't exist. So I'm going to ask Source to help me recall what is important and will be in resonance with this, because I don't play in the past. I really don't. So I asked Source when I was in the bath, when I was guided to share this, I asked her and the team to say, okay, if it's needing to be said or that it's in resonance, that it will come through. Because again, I don't recall, because I just don't, those identities have dissolved, and I've collapsed those timelines. Those timelines don't exist anymore. Okay, 1044. All right, so I'm gonna take a drink of water. So about 2024, before that, I was already feeling the shift. I was already feeling like being in this business was not doing it for me. I didn't feel like I wanted to continue, because I would kind of almost chase clients down. Again, it was part of the programming, the conditioning, and the unhealed parts of myself, to chase clientele down or do different things. But I was really just losing the desire at all. And I finally surrendered. Like, if Source, I just surrendered. At that time, I unconsciously, moments more consciously, like I just said, if I'm meant to have clients, they'll show up. And if not, that's fine. Because I was tired of working with people who were not wanting to help themselves. They wanted me to beat them into the ground and give them a strict protocol when it came to nutrition. And a few years ago, I just was done with that. I had let that go many years ago, but definitely implemented that in my practices, 3-4 years ago. Like, I'm not going to beat you down because you're paying me. I'm not going to say, this is the only way this is the way you're supposed to eat. This is the only, I quit doing that, and this is through process of my own recognition of my stuff in the business with me personally, So, a couple years in, I already knew things were shifting, and I had verbalized, I just don't think this is my forever job, and I verbalized that many times to my partner, and he just couldn't understand that. I didn't understand that. I just intuitively knew this was not my forever thing. I was really good at what I was doing, and I really made a big impact with a small amount. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. I made a big impact on a soul level that I didn't even understand at the time. Now I know now more than ever, but I didn't know then. 1, 2, 4, 4 on the timer. So it's, again, just after going through that, I can take the higher perspective and give a visionary look on it, and I can see that. But I already intuitively was feeling this, and you might be feeling this too. And basically, Source was just slowly clearing space. I was getting no contact, no clients, no nothing. I literally was removed from the group fitness class for all of the reasons that were perfect. They didn't feel perfect at the time, but I know that everything is perfect the way they are. The tower moments were hitting, and I had to just continue to surrender and know that I'm always supported, guided, and protected. I know I'm always provided for. And just, yes, I didn't have all of the things that I wanted. I didn't have all of the currency to take the vacations, to do the stuff that I wanted to do. And I had to surrender and allow for what was taking place. And I didn't quite understand until the following year, maybe 6 to 8 months later, what was really taking place is Source and my team were slowly dissolving, not just my own identity, those identities in that conditioning and programming, but clearing space so I could completely detach from that persona, that personality, that identity, if that makes sense, okay? And I just completely surrendered, and by the time the end of 2024 was here, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. In the beginning of January, things were just unfolding. I was being called to go within more, to create my own space, to say no more, to say yes to myself. And if I needed space, I needed space, and not completely worry about that. Again, placed in the right time, in my right place, and inspired and ignited someone that I'd met at the gym to create an event. And the last event I did, it was a speaking event, a women's event, but I was being asked to speak as from my experience as the personal trainer in health and wellness, and it just didn't feel right. Like I did it, like I tapped in, and yes, source wanted me to still go share my frequency, my energy, my wisdom and my knowledge for this event. But I'm like, at that point I was already in process of getting Reiki certified. I already knew that the personal training, health and wellness and fitness, that was tools in the toolbox, but that was not my forever. 15-15, that was not my forever, and I knew that. And it's not like I felt like a fraud, because I wasn't a fraud, but I didn't feel like, I felt like I was more in alignment with the other women speaking on the other things. Like that's what I should be speaking on, right? Is more of that stuff. So when she asked me again to do the event this year, it was like, no, it's not going to work that way. So I graciously declined, and just continued to surrender and allow. So basically by the end of 2024, I have 0 clients. I may have 1 consultation in like right after my awakening last year. It was a client that reached out from the year before, but I revisited that consultation for more of a starting in my healing practices, and told like, and what was downloading in my and this is how it works. I could get a lot of channeling downloads when I'd have these consultations. And this was a nutritional based consultation. I said, you got to do the inner child work. You know, what was coming through, and there was still a lot of refusal there. Like, you can't keep beating yourself down with nutrition and fitness when what you're trying to lose this extra weight, what our body holds as fat and toxins, is because it's a protection mechanism, because you're not addressing the root cause. And just the guidance that was coming from source was, at that time, that client needed to do inner child work, but I even knew that from the year before. Okay. And basically since that time, I've had 0 contact, 0 clients, 0. I've had 0 desire. I literally canceled my gym membership in April. I did re-sign up for it in June. So I've been paying for a gym membership, and the last time I was at the gym was in July, and we're now in April. And it's not because I'm not doing fitness and doing the stuff. It's been, I've been healing deeply and learning how to listen to my body and to move it in ways when guided to, again, listening to the innate intelligence 1717 of my physical avatar and my higher self. And that's, again, same thing with nutrition. I had to finally just surrender to all that. So you might be questioning, and I did at the time. I didn't understand, but I had to learn to trust and believe. But what I know now is she was creating a clear, clean slate, so I could have all of the space to heal, to all the space to be nothing, to do nothing, for those days to completely hermit, to not even open my door and go out into the wild. I understand more than ever that, you know, being more and more led and guided by my highest when I surrender to that, learning to be more and more present, doing the deep work, doing the healing, spending more time meditation than I was doing fitness or focused on any of that stuff. It was all part of the process, right? And I didn't understand it when it was happening, and you might not either, but understand that there's a bigger picture and a bigger plan, whether you realize it or not. You may have gotten glimpses, like I have, in many ways, shapes, and forms. You've been getting information and confirmation from your team, from source, in many ways, shapes, and forms, and you feel it. You can feel it, and you just know it. You are here for bigger things, right? You're here to get paid just to exist, just to be you, to share your frequency and energy like this, to just go out and have vacations. But while you're on vacation, your energy and your frequency is required, and that's doing work. Because you are embodied as source, and you could be doing grid work, and you're meant to get paid to exist. And maybe this is the first time you're hearing this. Maybe this is the 10th time you've been hearing this. 19 on the clock, you know, which is 10, which is funny. I said that. There's that synchronicity. Thank you for that. So she just really wanted me to let you know that, yes, things might get a little uncomfortable, but you may need to downsize, to quit the job that's siphoning your energy, that you're giving all of your creative energy in your life force to, when you're meant to be doing that for you, right? And for me personally, she literally just bulldozed the path and literally cleared everything out in the past 18 months to 2 years, clients and everything. And I'm like, you know, and because I just knew deep down that I'm not people never understood why I never did content around nutrition and fitness. Like, I would talk, I'd do lives and stuff, like in the moment, but nothing like where I was trying to create content to monetize it. People never understood that. It's like, because I never had that like massive ignition. I thought that was just not my path. And then when I was guided to do the 111 days of just sharing me, raw, real, authentic, going through this, I was still going through this healing journey at the time, and hitting record and just not giving a fuck, and just like, here it is, whoever's meant to receive, whatever source wants to channel through me, cosmic consciousness, here it is. Again, like I've said before, I don't, what's the word I want to use? I do this because it excites me, right? I don't do it because I'm trying to get anything out of it, except for sharing the love, the frequency, the energy, the codes, whatever it is with you beautiful souls. Like I said, even if it's one person. And if not, it's a beautiful vlog. It's a beautiful vlog of my journey when I started hitting record. Wait, now it's in the ethers. Just doing that, if nobody watched it, my frequency and energy going through this healing practice, going through this healing journey in every now present moment is, and if I want to, I can go back and look. But like I said, most of the time I don't watch these. I just record and post. If I'm guided to, yes. If it rolls back up in my own feed, yes, that's happened. I will watch it, right? 2121. So she's just saying trust. Trust in the process. Trust in the journey and trust in the path, even though you don't know what is coming more than a few steps ahead. Trust in the feeling that you're getting. If you're getting the call and called to just quit the fucking job, don't put the 2 weeks notice bullshit in. Just quit the fucking job and said, I'm done. And handle that and bow out gracefully. Maybe it's not a job you want to bow out gracefully. You just want to say, fuck you, I'm done. It could be one of those situations too. And either way, it's perfect. 2-2 on the timer. 2202. So trust and have faith. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. And I've been feeling this for a while, like I said, a few years, and had to continue to surrender in the process, and not just surrender in the process of the purpose, but surrender into the process and understand that Source has created so much beautiful space for me to allow me to take up my own space to create space for this healing. Because I've been clearing my lifetimes of karma, this lifetime, trauma, hurt, and pain, generational curses, generational hexes, vexes, and black magic. So for me, I've had to clear a lot. Maybe you only have to clear a little bit, but and you might not need as much space. So everyone's journey is different. This is what I contracted and coded my incarnation to be. That doesn't mean it's exactly the same. It could be same, but different. There might be aspects that are the same. And you're being called and drawn to go a little deeper and to do the healing, or to create space to be able to do more healing. To maybe, yes, if you have the funds, vacate and do that. If you're being called to vacation and do healing there, grid work there, all of that, do that, she says. All right. If you feel like that, you're like, what if I don't have the funds? Know that you're always provided for. Always know that. It's always figured out. Even when it doesn't feel like that, have the faith of the mustard seed and just trust and believe that you will be taken care of, that you will have the space to do the work that you need to do. That sacred healing is sacred work, right? You might not hear that in the spiritual community, or you're hearing it more now, but you may not have heard before that the sacred purpose is to quit the fucking job, to go within and do the healing. That's your sacred job right now. That's your sacred purpose. And then once that's all cleared up and you've cleaned up and excavated and got everything taken care of and the ground is, packed down and you're ready to go, then you can start creating when you're called to create. And if that could be like doing tarot card pullings, just having a conversation, talking about stuff that you've been journaling, being called to journal more, write things down. However journaling is for you. My God, I think I'm on like the 14th journal in less than 2 years. Yeah, way less than 2 years. I started journaling October 10th, 2024, but that journal lasted me until March of 2025. And since March of 2025, 2444 on the timer, I've blown through, like last month, I went through 3 journals. Like this journal is my 3rd journal from the end of March into beginning of April. All right, so she wants me to share with you this frequency, this energy, these codes, these activations, these healing frequencies, these light, like again, sending all of the light, love, magic, and miracles, and know that you are always provided for, always. And you need to have these deep conversations with her personally. Call for tea time. Call for morning coffee with her. Get in touch and have these conversations with your team members out loud in the car, not just here. Speak it. Have these conversations. Say, source fucking A, I can't stand this anymore. I need some help, guidance, signs, synchronicities. What can we do? I know you've got bigger and better things for me, but I feel whatever it is. And the universe will provide. I guarantee it. And it might not always be comfortable. It might not always be the way that you think it should be. The ego thinks it should be. Right? And the ego's going to constantly fuck around with you with this lack mentality. When you completely heal, that's a big wound for the collective, is this lack mentality and programming. It's a big wound. Don't play in that pool anymore, she says. Just know that you were always provided for. And yes, you might not have everything that you need right now, but you have everything, or excuse me, you might not have everything you want. Sorry, I said that wrong. You might not have everything you want right now, but you have everything that you need right now. Okay? And just continue to have the faith and to surrender and to trust and to believe that there is 2626, a higher purpose for you. This is just confirmation. You already can feel it. You can see it. Your future self has given you glimpses. I mean, I've seen glimpses of me living in this luxurious beach home, you know, overlooking the ocean. You know, like one of those bedrooms where you glass doors, open up, patio off the main bedroom, looking out over the ocean. I've had these glimpses. I've had glimpses of other homes, of specific, how the home, parts of the home look. Right? It's not like me sitting down trying to think about what my future home looked. These were images given to me from my higher self, from my future self. Right? All right, so thanks for hanging out. I really, really hope this lands. And again, if the human words aren't landing, the frequency and the codes are landing, right? You will get the downloads, you will get the activations, you will get the information. But again, you have to ask. Ask for the assistance and the provisions and the guidance and the signs and the synchronicities, okay? And they will be provided. That might not always be comfortable, just again, it's that tower moment, but just know and have gratitude and appreciation, because sometimes those tower moments, those rugs being pulled out from underneath you, are the biggest, most beautiful blessings ever. Even when the ego tries to convince you of otherwise, because that's the ego, that's not your soul. Your soul knows what it's doing, okay? But the more you push against that, the more uncomfortable you are going to get. That's just the fact. It's not punishment. It's just the facts, okay? And if you know, you know. And again, take care of you. Continue to pour into your cup. Listen to the inner voice. Listen to your inner guidance. Listen to your inner knowing. Listen to your physical avatar, your body, your quantum compass, which is your heart. Quit trying to figure it out through the logical mind and ego. Feel it out. This is my new motto. Quit trying to figure it out, and you need to feel it out. You need to feel it out. I am you, you are me, and we are we. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. Source, your team loves you dearly. You're here for big things. You have a big purpose. But right now, your big purpose might be doing the healing work and going within. All right? I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.